Okay, we're going to take a look here today at a new Beretta. This is a Beretta 92X GR version. So the 92X is a newer pistol that Beretta just released. There's a lot of different versions. There's a standard, there's a Centurion, there's a compact, and then there's different versions of those different sizes. You have your, typical F or FS type, and then the GR. And then there's the Performance, which is the fancy one with, I believe it's actually a frame-mounted safety, like a 1911 type safety, and a couple other differences in that. But this is the 92X GR model. So, kind of what separates it from a regular 92 FS, or differentiates it, I guess. There's a few things. One thing is it has a Vertec type slide. So that's your thin grip angle here. It's more like a 1911 type grip angle. It's a little bit thinner. It doesn't have that hump at the back like most of your Berettas have. So it comes with the Vertec grip. It has nice checkering on the back here. That's plugged. Sometimes there'll be a lanyard loop there for a service gun or something, but this has a plug here in the spring housing. And so nice checkering on the back, nice checkering on the front. The magazine release looks like it's extended. It's got some nice texturing to it, pretty easy to grab. As far as trigger guard, it's got a rounded trigger guard instead of the squared off trigger guard. Does have a rail on it. They make these with a rail or without a rail. This one has the rail. So it's a G, which is the decocker only. So when you decock this, it goes right back up, so you're in double action. There is no manual safety. And then the R for the rail. And moving up to the front, it has a 4.7 inch, hopefully that shows up. It's a 4.7 inch reverse target crown barrel, I believe is how they define this. But it's actually really nice. And you'll see here also on the front that it is dovetailed, so you can change that front sight out if you want. Instead of the sight being actually part of the slide, you can change that. So if you want to put a night sight or some other type of sights in here, you can change both the front and the back. On a lot of your older Berettas, you could only change the rear sight. If you wanted to do something to the front sight, you had to have a gunsmith drill it out. On this, they have it's basically like a bright orangish red dot and then a blacked out rear sight. So just a single dot in the middle, blacked out, and that is serrated in the back. Hopefully that shows up. But it is serrated there to help keep glare down. The hammer, it's basically a standard hammer. It does have a tiny little hole in that, but it's not a skeletonized hammer like you'd see on some of the, more expensive versions of this. Like I said, it's decocker only. And as far as the grips go, like I said, this does have the Vertec type frame. So it's thinner and flat on the back. If you prefer the old Humpty Hump, it does come with an extra set of grips that have kind of a hump built into the back here. So if you wanted to, you could put, this grip on there, and then that would give you that hump that you're used to on a normal Beretta. So that's just a personal preference thing, whether you want to have the Beretta hump or if you want it to be flat on the Vertec. Some people like the Vertec, some people like the, are used to the regular standard Beretta. But this does ship with 3 15-round magazines. Comes with some extra screws for the grips. So if you want to change the grips out, it's got some extra screws and washers and stuff, which is kind of nice. A lot of times you take these apart and you end up losing those things. They kind of bounce around if you're not paying attention. It comes with the lock like everything has to nowadays. But that's basically what you're coming with, is extra grip for the hump, some screws, 3 15-round magazines, the lock, and you get your paperwork and all that other stuff in here. But this is the way she comes, and like I said, this is the 92X GR full size with 3 15-round magazines. And the MSRP on this gun right now, I just picked this up in March, late March, early April of 2020. And the MSRP on this is $8.99. But I bought it online and had it shipped to my FFL and did all the transfer work and all that stuff. And I was under $600 for this gun. So it's really not much more expensive than your standard Beretta 92 FS or whatever other type of model you're looking for. And then it does have kind of some upgrades as far as, like I said, the Vertec type grip. It's got a rail, rounded trigger guard. I mean, whether that's an upgrade or not, that's up to you, whether you like it or not. But it also, like I said, it does have the slide's kind of like an M9A3 slide, because it does have the dovetailed front sight, obviously dovetailed rear sight, and then, as I said before, this is the decocker only version, so you got double action all the time and then single action after that first shot. And then other than that, it's a pretty standard Beretta 92. They've been around forever. I think they're awesome. That's why I have a few of them. I really like the way they work. And just so a little bit of something to compare it to, and it's not a comparison video, but just for reference, this is the 92X GR. This is a Langdon Tactical 92 LTT. So if you look at the two guns kind of side by side here, you're going to notice a couple things right off the bat. Obviously the Langdon Tactical is a little bit, I think a little bit nicer looking. It's got kind of a two-tone thing going on. It has the stainless grip screws, trigger, and then the barrel is stainless. But as far as other things on it that go, the Langdon, the LTT, it does have the standard humpback type Beretta grip. So Vertec hump. On the bottom here, you see on the rail, this is your Langdon. This is your 92X. This has 3 spots for putting a light or laser or whatever on. This just has the one. But most things are going to mount in the same spot. That's not really a huge difference. You'll notice down here, they both have the plug on your spring housing instead of the lanyard loop. And these are both G models. The Langdon has a skeletonized hammer. See, most of that hammer is kind of cut out there. And then the hammer on here just has that one little hole cut out. And then, like I said, the barrel's a little bit different. It's still a 4.7 inch barrel. So they're both the same length. They both have that reverse target crown cut into them. The only difference is the Langdon one is a different color, so it gives that two-tone look to the gun. And then sights, they're both going to be dovetailed. The Langdon is a fiber optic, which you can also change out if you're ordering from them. They offer a couple different sight options if you're ordering, or if you buy it like this, obviously it's dovetailed so you could change it. This one also is dovetailed. And other difference, trigger guard, rounded on the 92X. That's squared off on the Langdon. Then one other difference is the front cocking serrations on the Langdon. So if you're a press checker, you got those front serrations on the Langdon, but no front serrations on here. Some guys will just grab up here. It's got that pretty good bevel on it. You can usually, if it's not oily, grab that and do a press check. But other difference obviously is going to be in the price. Like I said, the MSRP on the 92X GR that I just got is $899, so $900. The MSRP on the LTT full size is $1,100. So it's $200 difference in MSRP. Like I said, I was able to pick the 92X up for about $600, and that was online, shipped to my FFL with all the paperwork I had to do. About $600 out the door. LTT picked up a couple months ago, and I want to say I paid around $850-ish for that gun. So it is going to cost a little more, but I mean, whether it's worth the extra, I mean, that's subjective. That's up to you. Worth is a relative term, but definitely the trigger and the aesthetics on the Langdon are a lot better. This is a standard Beretta trigger. I mean, I think it's nice. I think all Beretta triggers are nice. There's your reset. I mean, it's pretty smooth. It's not gritty. A lot of factory triggers are kind of gritty. But I think this is actually a pretty good trigger for a factory trigger. But if you compare it to something like this, there's definitely a difference. You can feel it. It's just smoother. And then moving up from this one, I personally think that the Wilson Combat Berettas even have a nicer trigger. But so I just wanted to bring that in as just kind of a reference point to compare this to. Not doing a straight up comparison video, but just a little bit of something to give you a little point of reference on it. So 92X GR. So Vertec frame, rail on the front, rounded trigger guard, dovetailed sights, so you can change them out if you want something different. This is, like I said, the G model, so it's decocker only. And it does come with the humpback type grips if you want to change your grips out to get that more traditional Beretta feel. So let's just a quick look at the 92X GR model from Beretta. It's one of their newer offerings.